Okay, just a minute, please. Okay, now Macbeth sees a dagger of the mind leading him. We finished this part. The porter attends the knocking, and we said that Macduff, okay, Macduff discovered that Duncan was killed. Okay, all right. Duncan's sons. I'd like to know the names of Duncan's sons, Malcolm and Donalbain. They understood that there is a kind of treason. So what did they do? They are intelligent. They escaped Scotland. They left Scotland. Duncan's sons realize their danger and decide that Malcolm will go to England. Malcolm is the eldest. Malcolm is going to go to England, and Donalbain will go to Ireland. Because as I told you, King Duncan, he had two sons. One of them went to England and the other to Ireland. Their flight makes them suspect because they escaped. Some people thought that maybe Malcolm and Donalbain are related to the death of their father. Okay? What happens now? Macbeth is crowned King of Scotland. So now the second prophecy of the witches had come true. Macbeth is crowned King of Scotland. Okay. That means that the second prophecy happened at the end of Act 2. Okay, let's move to Act 3. Macbeth plans to overturn the witch's prophecy. Okay? Of course, Macbeth is thinking all the time. He was thinking about his friend. My friend Banquo, he is not going to be king. He's going to be the father of kings. What shall I do? I don't want my friend's sons to be kings. What shall I do? Okay, what about killing Banquo and his son? What's the name of Banquo's son? Fleance. That means that Macbeth, he started by killing Duncan. And now he is thinking of killing his friend Banquo and his son. So he said that he's going to send 2 murderers to kill both Banquo and his son Fleance. Take care of the spelling of Fleance. Macbeth no longer needs Lady Macbeth's involvement and bids her be innocent of the knowledge. He told her, now, it's okay, I don't want you to involve yourself with me in any of the decisions. I will take the decisions myself. A third murderer, obviously not known by the other 2, joins them. And they went, those murderers, they were ordered by Macbeth to kill Banquo and his son. They succeeded in killing Banquo, but Fleance escaped. So, and although Banquo is killed, Fleance escapes. At the banquet, one of the celebrations, okay, Macbeth was sitting with his friends and Lady Macbeth. They were having a kind of celebration, but it seems that Macbeth was looking at someone who doesn't exist and talking to him. And he was astonished while he was looking at this one person. It happens that he feels that he sees in front of him Banquo's ghost. So at the banquet, at the what? At the celebration, Macbeth is terrified by the bloody ghost of Banquo. Since no one else sees the apparition, nobody can see what the ghost of Banquo. It's a ghost. It's a ghost. Lady Macbeth attempts to excuse his behavior. She told the guest, sorry, he had been exhausted for a long time. He hadn't slept for a long time. That's why he is troubled. Lady Macbeth attempts to excuse his behavior and eventually has to end the celebration. So Macbeth told himself, okay, what shall I do? He's worried. He thinks too much. What's going to happen? Macbeth determines to visit the witches again. He said, okay, I'm going to go and visit the witches to tell me what's going to happen later on in order not to worry more than this. I have to go to the witches in order to know what's going to happen. Suspicion of Macbeth is mounting. Of course, as I told you, Macduff, Malcolm, and Donald Ben, they know quite well that Macbeth is the person who killed Duncan. What do you think they are going to do? They are going to plan, they are going to prepare themselves, to prepare an army, and then return back to get rid of Macbeth. Right? Okay. Suspicion of Macbeth is mounting. And Macduff, as I told you, Macduff is one of the leaders, one of the generals. Macduff is the leader who discovered the death of Duncan. And Macduff joins Malcolm in England, and they are going to prepare an army together in order to go back to Macbeth to kill Macbeth. Okay, now Act 4. Again, this Act 4, is focusing on second meeting between the witches and Macbeth. This time it was not just a sudden meeting. Macbeth himself, he went to the witches. The witches show Macbeth 3 apparitions. They told him, number 1, beware of Macduff. Take care of Macduff. You know Macduff, one of the leaders. But at the same time, take care that the words were very tricky. They told him, take care of Macduff, but don't worry, none of woman born shall harm Macbeth. None of woman born shall harm Macbeth. Very good. If we heard these words, we are going to be satisfied. You are not going to worry. And they assured him, you will remain safe until Burnham Wood moves. Burnham Wood. You know the wood, trees, many trees and branches of wood. Are they going to move? No, they are not going to move. So the witches told Macbeth, you will be safe, except if Burnham Wood moves. So of course Macbeth will tell himself, the wood is not going to move. I'm safe. I'm going to be totally safe. He feels comforted. Macbeth feels comforted by these prophecies without seeing their double meaning. Sometimes when you say a word, there's another meaning. But he's shaken by a vision of Banquo and his 8 descendants. You know, the first meeting, the witches, they told Banquo, you are going to be the father of kings. So it happened that Macbeth sees in front of him Banquo and his 8 descendants. Okay? All right. Malcolm tests Macduff's loyalty to Scotland. Malcolm, who is Malcolm? Duncan's eldest son. He was supposed to be the king after his father. Malcolm, he wanted to check that Macbeth is loyal to him. And when he was really sure that Macbeth was loyal, okay, they started to make a certain strategy, to plan a certain strategy with the English forces, because as I told you, Malcolm was in England. So they made a certain strategy with English forces to get rid of Macbeth. Meanwhile, Macbeth has Lady Macduff and all her children slain. He killed them. Macbeth killed Lady Macduff and all her children. So if we are going to just count up till now, the persons who Macbeth killed, at the beginning he killed Duncan, and then he killed Banquo, and then he killed Lady Macduff and all her children. Okay? All right. Now Macduff, of course, is going to what? Make a certain strategy with Malcolm in order to get rid of Macbeth. Again, don't forget, you know that Macbeth, he went to the witches in order to be comfortable. He said, I'm going to visit the witches in order to tell me what's going to happen. They told him 2 points, but actually these points are words of double meaning. We are going to know the second meaning now when we approach Act 5. Okay? What is the first, or what are the first words? The first words were, none of woman born shall harm Macbeth. None of woman born shall harm Macbeth. Very good. I'm going to be comfortable. Nobody is going to harm me. In other words, you will be safe except if burn wood moves. Very good. I'm going to be comfortable. The wood will never move. Okay. Excellent. Okay, now let's move to Act 5 to see together how these words have double meaning. Okay. Here is Act 5. Lady Macbeth, while sleepwalking, as I told you, the problem of troubles of consciousness after doing a certain problem or after killing, after doing any kind of evil, reveals her knowledge of the deaths of Duncan. She starts to talk and walks while she was sleeping, okay? That continual washing of her hands, and she washes her hands several times, cannot ease her dread or make her feel clean. She can't feel that she is clean. The doctor and the attendant realize they cannot help her. And what happened to her? Or what is she going to do? She is going to commit suicide. She will kill herself. Macbeth is too involved with battle preparations. Of course, Macbeth was preparing himself, but he was safe and comfortable. He feels that everything will be okay. But he prepares himself against Malcolm and English and Scottish troops to spend much time. Of course, Macbeth didn't have time to watch his wife. So what did she do at that time? She committed suicide. Nobody is by her, and she was totally destroyed by her what? Too much thinking, by her troubled consciousness. She committed suicide when he hears of Lady Macbeth's death. He contemplates that life is full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. He started to be what? Hesitated. He reassures himself with the predictions, only to see the woods advance. What happened? They told him that as if the wood is moving. How is Burnham Wood going to move? Because Malcolm, who is Malcolm, the eldest son of Duncan, Malcolm ordered his soldiers, he told his soldiers, I want you to hide your number. So that our number wouldn't be revealed, I want each soldier to carry a branch of the tree. While you are moving towards Scotland, carry a branch of tree. So when the soldiers are moving and each one is carrying a branch of tree, how will it appear like? As if Burnham Wood is moving. So here, as I told you, at the beginning, Macbeth couldn't realize that the words have double meanings. When Malcolm ordered his soldiers to carry branches of tree, so as if the wood is moving. He reassures himself with the predictions, only to see that the woods are moving. When Malcolm's soldiers camouflage, hide themselves with branches of tree from Burnham Wood. Okay, let's complete. Macbeth sees the ambiguity of the predictions. He found that these predictions are ambiguous. Oh, the witches have deceived me. They told me that I'm not going to be defeated. Nobody is going to defeat me. But goes bravely into battle. Macbeth kills young Seward, who dies fearlessly. And then Macbeth found himself in front of Macduff. Macduff told him, I'm not born of a woman. I'm taken from my mother's body by a cesarean operation. Because Macduff was not born normally as any person. He was taken from his mother's body by a cesarean operation. So, you know now the double meanings of the words? They deceived him. The witches deceived him. Finally realizing the true implications of the predictions. Now it was revealed that these predictions, they were tricky, that he was deceived into believing, into following the words of these witches who deceived him, and they put him on the wrong road. Macbeth refuses to yield to Macduff and face capture and ridicule. He confronts Macduff and bravely fights, but he was finally killed. Macduff displays the usurper's cursed head, and actually Macduff took Macbeth's head and acclaims, and he declares that Malcolm is the new king of Scotland, that Malcolm now is the new king of Scotland. Again, we found in this play that there were two meetings with the witches. One of them was at the beginning of the play. He was ridiculed and tricked by the witches. Okay, he believed them and he found himself on the wrong road. When he was worried and troubled, he went for them again. The second time, they comforted him by telling him words, but these words, they carried double meanings. He was deceived again and he was tricked and he completed moving on the wrong way till finally what happened? As I told you, Macbeth was not born normally as all human beings. He was taken from his mother's body by cesarean operation. Okay, and you remember the witches when they told him, beware of Macbeth. And then they told him again, the second witch, that you're not going to be defeated except if Burnham Wood moves. And really Malcolm orders his soldiers to cut the branches of the trees and hide themselves behind the wood, and it appears as if Burnham Wood was moving. Thank you so much, my dear friends. Till we meet again, hope that you are fine. Goodbye. That's not